Australia, the land down under, is experiencing a poker boom ignited by a native son and reigning world champion, Joe Hasham. Melbourne's spectacular Crown Casino plays host to the largest poker tournament in Australian history, boasting a prize pool of more than $3 million, with $1 million going to the winner. Recognized as one of the world's premier tournaments, the event has drawn the biggest names in the game from around the globe to compete with the best from down under and see who'll come out on top in the partypoker.com Aussie Millions. The beginning of play has been grueling, even for the game's best. So far, we've seen poker champions Daniel Negreanu, Mike Sexton, and David Williams fall victim to this intense competition. Amsterdam's top player Marcel Lusk went all in against the legendary Phil Ivey and didn't survive. Tonight, Ivey heads back to the main table, hungry for more. He'll face off against cowboy Kenneth James and his big chip stack, as well as World Series of Poker bracelet winner Kathy Liebert. It's the partypoker.com Aussie Millions. And we welcome you to the Crown Casino Hotel. We are in Melbourne, Australia. Barry Tompkins, world-renowned poker author Michael Koenig alongside. And let's take a look at the chip count where we stand right now. Jerry Fitt is our chip leader ahead of Kenneth James and Phil Ivey. And then a pretty big drop down to Kathy Liebert. Myron Plum right now is the short stack along with Daniel Cairns. Well, everybody, of course, has to be looking at Phil Ivey, arguably the best player in the world. Kathy Liebert's not going to be odd, though.
She's played plenty of tournament poker with Phil and just about everybody else in the world. And let's remember, this is still fairly early on in the tournament. But players like Mr. Plum, down on the short stack, with merely 29, 30,000 to play, have got to get involved pretty soon. And look at this. He has picked up an ace-king, and this might, and there he goes, all in.
Well, you said it. And he's got James with a little pair. Fitch should get out of there with a queen 3 and does.
Oh, boy. Oh, man, for experience. I'm going to call you for experience. Hopefully you got slick. All right, what do you got?
Yes, he does have slick. And Kenneth James's pair of fives in this situation are actually a favorite over Big Slick.
Very close. All right.
Yeah, I got slick.
Yeah. Very good.
That's real bold of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, a deep breath drawn by Myron Plum. Slight underdog. 4-deuce-9 on the flop. That's no help.
Yeah, 6 of clubs.
3 spades for James.
There's the ace.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Still looking for
James does have a flush draw, though. A spade will send Plum home.
And doesn't get it. 4 diamonds on the river. And Plum will double up through Kenneth James. And a deep breath from James.
What's 30,000 between friends, huh?
Let's see.
I mean, seriously.
Well, Myron Plum and Kenneth James hook up, and we're going to jump away for some bonus coverage as Antonio Esfandiari all in against Peter Prattis.
Prattis has the nuts straight. Esfandiari 2-pair, and he makes the full house.
And there you go, a little drama. And a little more than a little joy.
Marcel Lusk, who was just eliminated from the tournament, is now the official hugging post. And you know, they say in poker, every card makes someone happy and breaks someone else's heart.
And you saw a perfect example of that right there.
You had me out here naked, wouldn't you? Huh? Seriously.
It's not what Marshall said.
Kenneth James, the ongoing commentary, as he is wont to do at every table he plays.
Yeah, a little known fact about Mr. James, he was in fact taking acting classes in Hollywood, California when he stumbled upon the game of poker, and he hasn't been going back for auditions since.
Look at Phil Ivey here, a pair of kings. And one of the things you got to like about Phil Ivey, he always seems to get max out of what he has.
Raised to 14,000.
And one of his tricks, if you want to call it that, is playing his Jack-3 the same way he plays his pair of kings, the same way he plays his 8-4. It's very hard to put him on a hand. He'll raise with just about anything in the correct position.
So it's Jerry Fitt who's got to do some thinking here.
And these are the two biggest stacks at our table right now. The guys who least want to confront each other.
Cool.
In a no-limit hold'em tournament, Barry, the big stacks like to pick on the smaller stacks. The guys who can't hurt them, we could have a big confrontation here.
Well, Fitt did call.
Oh, look at this! 4 kings!
My goodness.
And I'll tell you what, Barry, I think Phil Ivey should bet here.
Check.
He just checks.
Yep.
Thinking this hand is just too big to bet, but if he wants to get any action out of Fitt.
Well,
I check.
Check.
and Fitt
Now,
smells a rat here.
Now
Bet
Ivey's going
20,000.
to bet a little bit.
20,000 is the bet from Phil Ivey. 53-4 in the pot.
Is Jerry Fitt's 9 enough to compel a 20,000 call here? With 2 kings on board, it makes it less likely that Phil Ivey has a king in his hand. And of course, astronomically unlikely that he has 2 kings in his hand. Quad kings is the last hand that Jerry Fitt suspects right here.
I rise.
Right.
He's going to raise.
Okay, now, we know that Phil Ivey is licking his chops. Let's watch to see how Ivey reacts
Plus
to this
15.
bet.
Raise 50,000. 70,000 in total.
The raise is to 70,000.
Let's see how long Ivey takes. 50,000 to merely call. Will he merely call or re-raise? And I like that Ivey has not gone to his chips yet. He took a look at his opponent. Counting out the chips. Still thinking.
Ostensibly.
Beautiful act Phil Ivey is putting on right
Yes.
now.
And your point is well taken. I mean, he would play it this way if he had a 10-3.
Cool.
And he calls.
Just calls. Oh,
and
is
there's
that
the 9.
brutal?
Check.
Oh my goodness. Jerry Fitt just got the worst card he could have possibly found in the deck. He now has a full house, 9's full of kings. He just checked it though because Jerry Fitt knows if Phil Ivey had a king, that 9 fills up Phil Ivey.
Come on.
And Phil Ivey said, I'm all in.
Every single one of his remaining chips. Jerry Fitt has more chips than Phil Ivey, but that's a 106,000 chip bet. This is by far the hugest pot of the tournament. And Barry, that kind of bet, that all in there, to most players it would look like a guy who doesn't want to get called. And that sometimes can influence a player's decision. When you look at a guy who doesn't want to get called, normally you call him. This is a tough spot for Jerry Fitt. He has a full house. He improved his hand on the river.
How do you throw a hand like that away?
I don't think I could, honestly. But Jerry Fitt is having second thoughts.
Yeah, agonizing. Trying to figure what can he have.
It's simple as this. If he believes Phil Ivey has a king in his hand, he must fold. And he does.
Yes.
What a great, great, great fold. Will Ivey show?
Cut your losses.
He does not show.
Of course not.
And this way, Phil Ivey keeps the seed of doubt planted in his opponent's mind. The guy called a big raise on the turn. He improved on the river, and he'll never know until he watches our broadcast.
And there's no question about it. Right now, Phil Ivey is playing this table like Jascha Heifetz plays the Stradivarius. 2006 Aussie Millions are brought to you by PartyPoker.com, the world's largest poker room.